Okay. All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone. It is your girl, Dr. April J. Lisbon. It is truly a privilege and an honor to be before you today. I have been I have been invited by Dr. Mike Robinson of Forest of the Rain Productions to briefly share with you what it means to be the fiercest advocate for your child with special needs. Please excuse the setup. All of the rooms in the house are packed with children playing video games because it is the day before we go back to school after an amazing Thanksgiving break. But I did not want to miss out on this opportunity to share with you today my thoughts on advocacy for children with special needs. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am a school psychologist as well as the mother of three children. One of my children, my oldest son, has high functioning autism as well as dyslexia. So, I wanted to offer you a few tips and some strategies that have helped me, not only as a parent with a child with disability, but also as a special education advocate, specifically a school psychologist. Tip number one, the first thing that you want to know and the first thing that you want to do and to always remember is that you are a team player at the table. What I mean by that is, regardless if it's the child study or student support team meeting, the eligibility process, or the IEP process, no matter where you are on the special education journey, you are a team member and you are a team player at the table. All too often, sometimes what I notice as a school psychologist is that parents feel like they don't have a voice at the table. I am challenging you now today to own your voice as one of the experts who is working with your child or your children to help them succeed educationally in K through 12 education. The second tip that I want to tell you, read, read, read. And I don't mean come with a toolbox filled with things that you have found on the internet. Because what I will tell you is that all things on the internet are not good information when it comes to advocacy at the table. What you have to realize is that some of the information that's out there is very generic in nature. More times than not, they're not specific to your state special education regulations or your district's special education regulation. So it's vital that whatever information that you are reading, it one aligns with your child's disability, and two, that it aligns with what the expectations are at the state and district level. The best way to get that information is to go to your state's Department of Education website as well as your child's school district website. If there are questions that you have about what you have read, reach out to your local school district and ask to speak with the associate director of special education or even the director of special education to gain some clarity on what the expectations are at the district level. The third thing that I want to tell you that has supported me and helped me to be an advocate is that of coming to the table in an unadversarial way. And what I mean by that is that, you know, the reality is you are the parent, right? This is your baby that we are talking about at that table. However, all too often when we come, and trust me, I have been that parent, when you come there, with whether it's anxiety or anger, the message in which you're trying to share at the table gets lost. Why? Because people aren't listening to what you're saying. They're looking at what your body language is saying. So if you're coming there at that table looking like you're ready to throw some bows or, like start an argument or a fight, no one is hearing what's coming out of your mouth. And I've seen it the reverse too, even from educators, you know, where they're coming out and they're like, we are the experts, we're doing this, and this is how we're going to make it work. I too have seen parents tense up, you know. So one of the key components is that when you're at that table, ensure that the words that you are speaking align with your body language, because the reality is what you say and how your body reacts then dictates how that entire meeting goes. So anyone who knows me knows that I have a lot of emotions. I have a lot of expression, if you haven't seen that yet. But even I too have had to work on my body language and my facial expression, so that my son is always at the heart of the meeting. My son is always at the heart of the table, and not my emotions and my feelings. So what I will tell people is that when you are coming to play, it's just like a team sport. We are working together as a team to get the win. And that win is to ensure that our children or our child with special needs, right, is performing at their best level. Okay. Something else that I always like to encourage parents, and that I also do myself, is to ask questions. I will tell you now, there is no such thing as a dumb question or a question that should not be asked. Okay. If you leave that meeting with a bunch of question marks, that's your choice. And I always tell people that's your choice. If you need clarification, you pause the meeting and say, "Excuse me, I don't understand what this part of the process means." What I mean by that, and I'm saying this as a parent, when I'm talking about that process, the question is, based on my child's disability, how will this impact him in the classroom setting? That's the first thing. Based on my child's disability, how will this impact him or her when I am, providing instructions or I am doing homework? You want to ensure that everything that aligns in that school-based IEP can be replicated at home. You see, I have always been that special education professional, even before I had a child with disability, who has always believed in the triangulation approach. And what I mean by that is that I should be able to take whatever my child is working on and doing at school and be able to repeat or replicate some of that stuff at home. Because I believe in, nothing missing, nothing broken. Because once again, I can't expect for my child to perform this at school, come home and not be able to do it. And then by the time he gets back to school, he's confused and he's frustrated and he's angry by the process. So if there are things that's on that IEP that needs to be clarified, ask the questions. There is nothing, and I will stress this one more time, nothing that is a dumb question or a question that should not be asked and answered. Ask the questions. And my final thought that I want to tell you guys is to breathe. Okay. All too often, right? This journey that we call parenting children with special needs can be challenging. It can be frustrating. It can take everything out of you. And it's not only related to the child, it's related to all the pressures that are related to outside relationships, that's related to finances, that's related to on the job. All of those things can come and stress you out to the point where your physical body can start to melt down on you. Your mental health can create issues for you. So many things can cause you to feel like, you can't handle this process. And so one of the things that I had to learn how to do on this journey is to let go of those things that I cannot control, right? Breathe through this process and then work through a place of hope and healing so that I am being the best advocate that I can be for my child, and I am modeling that same type of behavior for my son. Because once again, his job is that of being a student. His job is that of, going to school and being the best person that he can be. So if I'm coming home stressed out, just like on 10 and just like yelling and screaming, it does not help him at home, nor does it help him the next day at school. So parents, please practice breathing. Take 10 minutes out of your day for self care. I promise you, those will be the best 10 minutes to help you get mental clarity, to create a stable foundation for your child, and to help you to practice the art of giving back to yourself. Once again, it's your girl, Dr. April J. Lisbon. My 10 minutes is almost up. Thank you so much, Dr. and Mrs. Robinson, for giving me another opportunity to share with your audience members at Forest of the Rain Productions. I hope every one of you had a great holiday, but more importantly, I want you to go out there and be the best advocate for your child with special needs. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your 2018 into 2019 year.